Okay, guys, this is going to be featuring David, one of their future producers on the channel. This is going to be part of our League with Friends series, where we're going to just be playing normals with most of our friends, whether it be through Skype or just us messing around in chat, stuff like that. We're going to make sure it's enjoyable and funny, less of a serious kind of ambiance going on. And, seeing as League of Legends is a game to be enjoyed, there's no need to necessarily be raging in solo queue all the time. So we're gonna start off by poking this little Rengar here, who seems to be quite badly out of position. We forced the flash. Nice. So immediately getting the flash out of the Rengar there, who then says easy in all chat. That's pretty funny. Let's take a quick look at the matchups here. We're going to be seeing Zac versus Kale top lane. Because of the poke, I figure that it favors Kale. Gonna be seeing a pretty fucking random first blood by Yasuo in the mid lane. So mid lane is gonna be Yasuo versus Zed. Normally Zed can poke down Yasuo really hard, but Yasuo already has a kill, so I'm not sure how that's gonna be going. Jungle is gonna be Rengar versus Lee Sin, which is actually somewhat common these days. Lee Sin, of course, being nerfed and buffed over a dozen agents and still being very effective, God knows why. And the bottom lane will be Nami and Ezreal against Lucian and Bard. A double Ignite bottom lane for them, so they're gonna be going pretty ham on us. Now, double Ignite can make or break a lane, seeing as if you ignite on top of the other ignite, you're just wasting it completely. So if they're not synchronized, it's gonna be a waste of summoner spells. We're gonna see David get poked down pretty hard by the Bard here. Bard, secret OP, I guess. Gonna be forcing the flash right there. We're gonna be poking down the Lucian likewise with our Q. Ezreal is another one of my preferred AD carries. Gonna be forcing out the flash from Lucian. Ooh, managed to cancel that recall just in time so not get hit by my Q. So yeah, I love Ezreal as well. As much as I love Vayne for her capacity to just go in and kill everybody, I gotta say I love Ezreal for his jumpiness and long-range harass. So we got a nice kill on the Lucian there with a little Q snipe. You really gotta remember to use your E to readjust your position whenever possible, because you can make plays like that, whether it be defensively or offensively. And we're gonna be probably gonna be tilting that Lucian there, seeing as he got hit by the practically max range Q.
Oh my god.
So most people would prefer blue build on Ezreal, which became a very popular thing to do back in Season 3 when we still had the spirits as the jungle items. You would go Spirit of the Elder Lizard on Ezreal, and it would be very effective, very cost efficient item. And that has transitioned into more of a mana whore kind of Ezreal, where you want to get mana and CDR by the means of Seer of the Goddess and Boots of the City and items such as those, along with an Iceborne Gauntlet, which will let you to poke for days from a safe distance while still slowing down the enemy and providing some sort of soft CC for your team. Personally, I still prefer Trinity Force Ezreal. I feel it brings up a lot more damage and mobility. You might argue that the slow from the Iceborne Gauntlet favors the mobility given by Trinity Force, but it's really a gameplay preference manner when you really get to the bottom of it. We have our shiny little pulse fire skin firing away as we continue to exhaust our lane dominance over our opponents.
Oh my god, the joke.
Yeah, that whatever. Let's see how the other lanes are doing. Obviously, we're having a pretty good time down here in bottom lane. We have 32 CS in 5.5 minutes, which is a pretty good amount. It seems the top lane, as I predicted, Zac is getting poked down very heavily by Kale. Luckily, Zac is a champion that thrives a lot off of magic resist, as he can just rush Spirit Visage and make very good use of his passive healing with the blobs and whatnot. I'm gonna be pinging that so David shuts down the little trap there.
What trap? What are you
Oh, not the trap, the heal, I mean. Too
Not
many
playing
Caitlyn matchups.
Not playing against Caitlyn this time.
Rengar gonna be getting a nice gank off and getting a kill there. Normally, you would hate playing against a fed Rengar as an AD carry, but with Ezreal, it's not really that much of an issue as you can just E away. I also like getting Bork on Ezreal, depending on how well we're doing, because of the fact that you can really push the kiting to a very high limit. Seeing as even if you E away and they still have some sort of gap closer, you can just slow them down and steal some movement speed with the Blade of the Ruined King. And because of the passive, Blade of the Ruined King, as you must all remember, deals 8% of the enemy's current health in bonus physical damage. And since RQ procs on hit effects, it means we can be dealing that damage to things such as tanks from a very long range, which is very good for poking them down.
That ain't worth a coffee.
We already have 1800 gold in the bank, but we really won't be going back until either we run out of mana or it is completely necessary, because we want to keep denying CS to the enemy AD carry as well as gaining more CS ourselves. So we've had a lot of trouble recording recently, whether it be settings, messing with the video programs, or just not getting any good content, such as feeding teams or ourselves struggling. Not that that ever happens. But it's really important for us to keep making content and keep being inspired, so that we may reach out to viewers like you and hope that you keep on enjoying what we do. See Zac rushing some more MR, which is a very good thing, so that he may thrive in that poke lane. Zed is 0-3 already, which is very good for us, as Zed's main purpose is usually killing the AD carry, and if he's way behind, he won't really be able to assassinate us. Lee Sin is putting in some good work killing the enemy Kale. It's really effective when you're poking an enemy champion and their jungler comes to gank, because it puts you very behind. You spend a lot of resources to zone said enemy champion, and then you die anyway, and they are able to catch up. That really does put you at a very disadvantageous position. Now, we used our ultimate there to shove in the wave, it's a very common thing to do when you're playing Ezreal, because the cooldown on your ultimate is actually really low. Level 1 is just 80 seconds, and our Q lowers the cooldown of every single ability we have by 1 second once it hits an enemy. And when you're laning, it's very common to be spamming Q as Ezreal, which means that your ultimate's cooldown is effectively way lower than it even says it is.
Your ally has been slain.
We see a really huge dive there. 3 people were in mid lane to dive on that. Yeah, so I guess it's probably sort of our bad, seeing as we didn't really ping people were missing from our lane. But, well, once you're commentating, you can't really be paying attention to absolutely everything.
Oh my god, yes. It's recording and I'm not lagging like fuck. Thank god. Yes. 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 Okay, so I have to remember that I have to change the priority every time I start a game, because it resets for some reason.
Oh, okay. Yeah, David's still messing around with his video recording settings. Now, bottom lane did get a nice little lift from that gank they pulled off in mid lane. Lucian now has his BF sword, which is a huge power spike on him. 80 caster type 80 carries, with the exception of Draven, such as Lucian and Graves, get a massive boost from buying BF sword.
Oh!
Unfortunately, I don't feel like they're in a position to to beat us in spite of that gank, seeing as we just made quick work of that Lucian right there, and we don't even have our Sheen, which is one of the main power spikes that Ezreal has in lane. We did, however, get a nice little lucky-ish crit there, seeing as we have a seal, which only gives us 10% critical strike. So yeah, that just comes to show that critical strike as a stat can be a very unpredictable thing that might harm you if you don't get any strikes whatsoever, but it will greatly benefit your fights as well as your team fights if you do manage to get quite a few crits in. So Bard is going to be coming from behind for God knows what reason. Okay, so we see Rango there. We're going to have to flash out of here and heal. We do see Lee Sin coming around here. Ulting that. Ah, too bad. Lucian made it back in time, so they managed to give Lee Sin pretty hard there. So yeah, as you saw right there, even though I am Ezreal, it still can be quite a hassle to get out of Rengar's clutches from time to time. But we did still, however, manage to survive the encounter, which is a pretty good thing. We're going to be getting a second Doran's Blade for the sake of sustain, as well as maintaining our lane dominance, seeing as Lucian just got a little more fed. And postponing our Trinity Force here isn't going to be a very big issue, because we still couldn't afford our Sheen yet, and I really didn't want to sell the first Doran's Blade just to get the Sheen right now. Maybe if we had enough money for the entire Trinity Force, then it would have been somewhat worth. But it is only 500 gold away, so we can just clear a few waves here and there, and we'll have our nice little Trinity Force ready and standing by. Trinity Force is one of the biggest power spikes in Ezreal's kit, as it does proc with every single Q and every single other ability used, as long as it's not currently on cooldown. Trinity Force also offers a very small amount of AP. While some might consider it insignificant, Ezreal's kit does benefit from having AP, as almost all of his abilities have, well, actually, yeah, all of his abilities have a secondary, if not primary, AP scaling. That is why AP Ezreal is a very popular and viable thing. Gonna be getting a little free dragon right here, thanks to us being pressuring the bottom lane, so that they could not come over and fight or contest it. And it seems there is going to be a dive going on in top lane for taking down turret. Kale seems to have TP'd back up here. Pretty sure it was a TP and not anything else, considering that she was in top lane mere seconds ago. Not gonna be able to get a kill right there, but we will be able to go back and get our Trinity Force. Luckily, Lee Sin did not die there. That would have been pretty bad if he had died. Oh, Bard's here already. We could go back and let them pressure the turret a little bit. They probably won't be able to take it. So it's gonna be the wiser option right now, seeing as we're running out of low on mana. We're gonna take a health pot and 2 mana pots, since we're probably gonna be spamming a lot with this Trinity Force of ours. Zed is very behind right now. He is now 0-7-0, and Yasuo is having the party of his life. It seems he claimed that he mained Zed to the enemy team, so they're pretty salty right now, as you can very well appreciate.
For the sharks.
Oh my god. I didn't notice him. So.
Yeah, he's really behind. Team kills are currently 12-3, so I guess you could consider this a little bit of a stomp for the time being. But they are taking the appropriate measures to try and get back into the game. It really does depend on how we react. Gonna be using our ult to force them out of defending this turret. Yasuo will be secreting that Zed back into Wednesday, and the enemy team will leave and let us continue to push. So I guess it's sometimes pretty boring to present content such as complete stomps, but it is very, very relaxing to have one of these games every once in a while, specifically when you haven't been doing too well. You know, if you're on tilt or something like that, especially in solo queue, it's pretty beneficial to just switch on over to normal games and try to do your best to have very efficient games like this where you can really hone your skills and learn how to react to different situations when you're not under as much pressure.
Best pronunciation though.
What?
On skill. On. Pretty sure it's called. Check out this over the wall bubble. Oh my god.
You mean the one they're totally
Oh
missed?
no.
Ah shit. There was these set.
I got this, wait, I got this. Oh my god, he wants me. What an asshole.
Gonna be ready to counter engage here.
Got your hands bloody. Teach them respect.
Yeah, teach him respect.
Double kill.
Yeah, there we go. I flashed over there because I wasn't sure if Zed had ult or not, and I really didn't want to be under the Zed ult while Bard CC'd or stunned me. So that would have been very, very bad for us. Pretty tough situation. Even though Zed is massively behind, you never really know just how much damage he can get off when you're a squishy little ADC. Same thing with Kale there, you know, I backed off a little, I didn't know if she had ultimate, I'm not sure how much DPS she has right now. So you really want to be able to decide when to back off of champions that are made to eliminate AD carries. Even if you're a very high damage AD carry, Kale could, you know, easily DPS you down while being immortal through her ultimate. A similar concept with Zed, but rather through sheer damage instead of fatality. Gonna once more be pushing the wave with our ultimate so that we may soon back. Zed is, or Zac rather, is gonna be going in very hard for that Rengar here. I'm not gonna be able to save him as Lucian and Bard were near enough to try and eliminate him there while his passive was trying to regenerate. We don't have any mana here, so we're gonna go ahead and back off. There's really no need to keep pressuring this, seeing as their entire team is grouped here, and we really won't be able to get something done. Nice Nami wave, David. Very nice. That one's gonna come back to haunt you, you know.
Oh
Had it
God.
landed on them, I'm sure Yasuo would have capitalized and had a very nice ultimate. Go ahead and snipe the Lucian there. I'm gonna get killed by Zed. There goes our perfect game so far. Yeah, I didn't have mana to do anything else there, so I should have probably backed off after killing Lucian. Oh, comeback? Probably not. We just played that exceedingly badly. We didn't have the resources to keep fighting. Zach was dead. We were split up. I didn't have any mana. But we'll still probably, you know, get going.
Amazing Nami ult helps.
Yeah. Having that lack of Nami ult in that fight could have really turned the tide.
Oh my god, no.
It could have certainly turned the tide, but it seems that the wind was not with us, and the waves just, you know, they just weren't available. It could be that, or it could be the fact that, you know, the skill was on fucking cooldown after David totally whiffed it. But what can you do? What can you do? We're just gonna keep on CSing here and pushing as we see that Zed is going back, so there's no threat for him to come and kill us.
Keep calm on your normal, relax, you're stomping.
Yeah, I'm kidding, I'm not actually mad, but, you know, comic relief is necessary at all times. I could have waited for my complete Bork there instead of just getting the components and buying boots, but I felt like I was going way too slow at the moment, and in such a game as this, there is not much of a necessity for an immediate power spike, because we're not doing most of the damage. Is actually being done by other champions such as Yasuo, who, as I say that, just got totally destroyed by the enemy team. Fun. Gonna be showing off our damage right here. Oh wow, I'm not really sure how that Bard ult hit me. Nice, so we just got surrounded and eliminated by the Rengar there. Zach did not use his ultimate to try and CC them down. I'm pretty sure he wasn't even there. I think he just got there and is now going to beat them. Okay, so he got the Bard. It's something, right? Let's chase after the support. Now, this is where things start to get interesting, where the team kills are now 20 and 15. And I really don't want us to throw this, so let's go ahead and tell our team to group up.
League of Throws.
Yeah. League of Throws indeed. We're gonna... Well, now we have our summoners. Now we have both Flash and Heal, so it's gonna be pretty hard for either Rengar or Zed to stay on top of us. We're gonna see if we can abuse that mobility to survive an entire team fight and try to get our DPS through. Probably gonna be able to take down this turret. I'm not sure if Yasuo should have gone in that hard just now. David was tanking the turret for whatever reason. Let's see if Lee Sin... Okay, Lee Sin is going to be able to easily 1v1 that kill, which means that we are now in a 3v4 situation. We could continue pushing mid lane if we so desire. It's obviously going to be the appropriate course of action, as it's not going to be really hard to do. Well, here we go.
No! Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean, you were the lowest, the lowest target, and the kitty's gotta have his food. Get it? Food, feeding, whatever. Now,
Also, I think it also works as a joke because I'm a fish.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I totally missed the better joke there. we gotta give the pussy some tuna.
Oh my god.
We gotta give the pussy some tuna. And that is not at all a reference to the smell of a woman's vagina.
What the fuck?
Yeah, you know how they say pussy smells like fish?
No, I've never heard that.
Have you not?
I don't know if you... maybe you know...
We're gonna instantly eliminate the enemy team here. Thanks to a nice, very, very lovely kick by the Lee Sin, hitting 3 targets in the middle of our ultimate, which currently does around 600 magic damage. Zed's Ezreal's ultimate rather is a very, very good tool for bursting. as it does a very decent amount of damage without requiring extensive stats.
I can't move.
Yeah, I'm lagging a bit as well. Assuming it's the service right now. Hopefully it's gonna go away.
Too good an end for us.
Rip.
Okay, it's going away. Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
So we got mobility again. And with almost 2k gold, we're just gonna go back and probably finish our Berserker Greaves. Now, you could go for several items in this situation. You might want to go for Essence Reaver to have some more cooldown and sustain, as well as maintain your mana pool, as Ezreal is a very mana hungry AD carry. You could go for either Boots of Lucidity or Zerker Greaves. Now, we're gonna try the more on-hit, or rather attack speed based build. We're gonna be going for Zerker Greaves and a Static Shiv, and then an Infinity Edge. Static Shiv on Ezreal, you might wonder, was actually pretty good, because as his Q activates on hit effects, it is also capable of shooting Static Shiv charges at their team from a very safe distance, which is great for poking. That is, of course, one of the other reasons why you want to go Borg with this build. You know, since you're not going to be abusing your range as much as you could, you're going to be using your AA or auto attacks. It's very important for you to have that secondary option to kite with. Rengar is going to be giving our Nami here once more. Oh, that's a very lovely kill steal, man. But whatever. We're still having some light lag issues right here. Seems like it's the server, as different people are having troubles at problem at the same time, such as that Bard, which just stopped there for absolutely no reason. But we don't give a fuck. We're gonna keep pushing this. You know, try to win the game as fast as we can.
Fucking server, man. Fuck.
Gonna take this turret, probably the inhibitor as well. Yeah, there goes the inhib. So, as Trick would say, the gates are open. And we're gonna probably group up and try to open up the gates in bottom lane as well.
I think the gates only need side lane, so...
Nobody cares. So we're gonna be taking that blue buff, as Yasuo already had one in it, and it's actually a lot better on Ezreal than Yasuo. Blue buff is actually almost completely useless on Yasuo, as his Q's cooldown actually scales off of attack speed, and his E has a steady flat 0.1 or 0.05 cooldown at max rank, meaning that it doesn't really need any more fucking CDR. Yeah, it only benefits his wind wall and his ultimate, which already has an extremely low cooldown in of itself. With Ezreal, it really helps you maintain your mana pool, as I've said a few times before. Ezreal is a very hungry AD carry. I mean. And it really does give you beneficial CDR. I'm just gonna totally ignore Kale and take the turret here. And see if we can kill him. Yeah, just gonna avoid her until her ultimate wears off. Like I stated before, you really don't want to be getting DPS down by her while her ultimate is up. Will Lee Sin go in though? That is the question. Ah, getting hit by Bard ult right there. Okay, so I guess we overstayed our welcome there. Oh my gosh, how'd that do even remote damage? Fuck's that, dude. Yeah, Zed's Deathmark is a very annoying ability, to say the least. I really thought I would be able to survive it and then maybe kill him with my ult. But it seems he just did way too much damage there. Even though I burned both my summoners. Now, normally you wouldn't really complain about the fact that Zed just did that, but considering Zed only has Bork and Yomos, as you can see here, I guess it's kind of annoying. But, well, here you can appreciate the enemy team trolling and spamming fucking wards on their base. You just need that vision, man. Sometimes you really don't know what's at your fountain, and you just have to place those vision wards. Just a couple of the friends asking if we want to play, asking if we have much to go in this game, which is not the case as we're almost done here. So yeah, I guess it's been pretty funny thus far. They kind of pulled off a little comeback there for a few minutes, but it was just lack of coordination by us, and we quickly saw their lead destroyed once again. Or not a lead, but rather we just stopped their re-advance, or however you do want to put it. So we could just pretty much finish off the game here. Into their base or whatever. Yeah. Well, guys, that'll be all for now. I hope you look forward to future episodes of our League of Legends Normal Games with Friends series. And that's not actually going to be the title. I'm still thinking of it. But it is going to be just Normal Games with Friends. We hope it's going to be a lot of fun. Very, very relaxed. And remember to like and subscribe and favorite, guys. And I hope you can join us for next time. Later.